Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial on IT.tutorials. I am Josef Botnar. In this video tutorial I'm going to talk about the properties of a visual C# form. Any controls and form in a visual C# has attached properties. So we can set for a form, not just for a form, as well for controls we can set properties, a set of properties to make our app to look professional or to match our claims regard to our app. I didn't start this project from the scratch as I have done this in previous my previous tutorials. So if you don't know how to start from the scratch a visual C# project, please watch those tutorials. So we have a few options to launch the properties window. I have already launched the property windows for this form. You should select the form first, yeah. And here, usually on the bottom, on the right side, will appear the properties of the form, as you can see. Also, you can make this if you right-click on the form and select properties. If you don't have this window, you can launch it from here. You just select view and after properties windows. After you launched your properties window, you can select here the properties because you have either properties and events. This lightning is for events. So this is the window for the events, which was launched clicking on this icon, which has this lightning icon. Yeah. So there are the events. This is another method of Visual C#, which I'm going to talk in another video tutorial. But if you want to use the properties, if you want to set the properties of form, you have to select this icon, and the properties will be launched, will be appeared in this window. You can list properties by alphabetical if you select this icon, and all the properties will be ordered alphabetical, or you can use or you can list your properties by category if you select this icon, the first icon here, yeah, and the properties will be listed by category. Yeah, I prefer to list the properties by alphabetical because it is easier for me to find the properties. So let's start with the beginning. So select the form, go here in this properties window, and I'm going to start with this property name. On the left side is the name of the property, as you can see, and on the right side is the value of the property. So now this property name has this value form 1. If I launch the code, yeah, right click on the form and select the view code, you can see the name on your form here, which is a public class, and the name is this one, form 1, yeah, and the constructor obviously must have the same name as the class, yeah, form 1. I'm going to change this to design. I'm going to go back here to this property name, and actually this name is used in code to code our app in a Visual C#. So I'm going to change this from form 1 to, for example, something suggestive, yeah, FRM, and I'm going to write prop form, yeah. Okay, so enter, and now my the name for this form was changed, but be careful, it is not about this name. Actually, this form 1 is a text, which is changed in another property. This property is about this property, you see, where is the same name form1. Yeah, uh, so this name will be changed here. When I'm talking the name of the property, I'm talking about a name which is used to code, yeah, inside here the code file. So as you can see here, the name of the class attached to this form was changed, yeah, and here the constructor is the same as the name set here in a property window. Again, this name is used in a code file to code your Windows Form application, and it's not the same with this one, which actually it's a name of the form which is shown uh, in interface, yeah, on the window. Okay, so to make another example, if you give a double click on this form, you see the same name is used for the property, and the name is used together with event, with this event load, which is the same as this name which was given here. Yeah, as I told you, this name is going to be used in the code file, as you can see here. Yeah. Okay, so let's go forward. Uh, Another property which you can use and is very useful is this one, auto scroll. Yeah, now it's set to false. Yeah, let me to release this up. Yeah, as you can see now, this form was launched. We can resize it, as you can see, but let me to place here a button. Any control doesn't matter. So I'm gonna to release the toolbox, and I'm gonna to drag a button on the form. Yeah. So I'm gonna to put this button here somewhere here in this color, and I'm gonna to resize the form. Yeah, I'm gonna to resize the form. Yeah, and now let's check this property. Auto score is false. Yeah, that means we we can't have the auto scroll bar on our form because this property is set to false. So let's release this form first. As is set this form, yeah, we can't see the button. Actually, we've got a button here, you see. Yeah, we've got sorry, so we've got a button, but if I resize this, you see, I will see the button. But there is another option. There is an option to use the scroll bar to visualize any controls which are located somewhere where we can't see when we launch the form. So that's why we can use this property auto scroll, and I'm going to change the value from false to true. Yeah, and now as you can see appeared these two scroll bars on the right side, yeah, and on the left side here. This is horizontal scroll bar, and this is vertical scroll bar. Yeah, because I got a control here on this form, a button. Now I'm going to make it is bigger. Yeah, this is a control. After the control is able to be visualized, these two scroll bar disappeared. As you can see, if I make it smaller, again these two scroll bars appeared again. Yeah, so let's launch again this form. Here you go. Now you see, now we can use these scroll bars to visualize the controls what are hidden. Yeah, yeah, now I can see the button. Okay, so this is the meaning of using this scroll bar. Yeah, so I'm gonna to change again to false. All right, so let's go down here. A very useful property is back color, and very used actually. So this will set the background color for this form. We have here three categories. The system. These colors are according with your operating system in your computer. Yeah, so you can choose a color from here, for example, active captation, and as you can see, the background color for this form was changed. Let's release this form again. Yeah, and the color, the background color was changed, as you can see. Another category of color is web. Here each color has a name, as you can see, and you can choose from here the background color what you want to have for your form. Yeah, and as you can see, each color has a name. Yeah, another type of color is the custom. Yeah, and you can choose a color from this palette of colors. Yeah, and as you can see, this custom color provide three series of a series of three number. Yeah, so this first is actually this is RGB color. The first one is the R, which means stand for red. G, the second one, which stand for green, and the last one, the B, stand for blue. So RGB. So this is the custom color. Yeah, and you can use the colors from this palette to change the background color. Yeah, here you go. Very useful is this property background image. So you can use an image as a background for this form. So you just click on this button. If you want to import from your calculator from your computer a image, you just select this local resource, click on import button. Let's be this, yeah, and open. Here you go. So now we've got image as a background color for this form. Yeah, but as you can see, the image is not very intelligible. Yeah, but you have another property if you want to set this image to be seen more proper. So here I've got this property background image layer. Now is set to tile. I can change this either on center or scratch. Now as you can see, my image is very clear. If I use this value, scratch or zoom, yeah, it's quite okay. Yeah, but the scratch seems for me the best one as a background image for this form. As well, if you pick a smaller image, I try to pick a smaller image, this one for example. Yeah, okay, yeah, and if you change here the value from scratch to tile, now you can see this image was multiplied a few times on my background on this form. Yeah, because the image is smaller than the form. Let's release this form. here you go. You can see we have this image a few times multiplied on this form. Okay, let's go forward. I'm gonna to change this. Yeah, I'm gonna to leave this background color. Yeah. Now this property control box is set to true. It is about these controls. Yeah, this one is to close the form, the window. This one, another one, the middle one is to maximize, and the first one, this one is for minimize this control. Now all these three you can see because this property control box is set to true. But if you set this to false, now as you can see all those three boxes disappeared. Yeah. So if you don't want to have these boxes on your form, you just set to false this property control box. So I'm going to change it back to true, and now all these boxes appeared again. Yeah. Also, you can change the cursor from default from another type of cursor, which you like it more. I'm going to select this hand cursor. Yeah, and now release this form, and as you can see, now my cursor is appeared to this shape as a hand. Yeah. Okay. A very important property is the font property. Yeah, you can change the value of this property here. Click on this button. This window will appear, will be shown, and here you can set the font family, the font style, and the size. I'm going to select bold, and I'm going to select, for example, 36. Okay. So you see how my form was resized. It became very, very, very big. Yeah, very, very big. Yeah, because the font was changed. Yeah, if I change again this font and I make it smaller, for example from 36 to 11 as it was before, I think. Now this one this font was shrinked. Yeah, it came back how it was before. Yeah, and here is the button, and as you can see when I change the font for the form, by default it is changed the font for the bottom as well. Yeah, actually this works for any controls which is placed on the form, the same. Yeah, this actually because this form was changed according how we set the font. It is because I've got this property here. Yeah, let's select. It will select this button, so I should select the form. So I go here. Okay, and Autoscale mode. Yeah, the Autoscale mode is set to font. But if I change this and I change this to none, you will see even I change the font to bigger, the form won't be modified the size. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to change the font from 11 again to 36. Yeah, as you can see now, the form size wasn't changed. Yeah, and as you noticed here for the button, the font was changed. As I told you, actually, this is the inheritance. So if you have controls, because the form is the parent, and any controls on the form is the child. So if you set a font for form, this will affect any controls located on this form. Yeah, but as you see, now the size of this form wasn't changed, even if I changed the font size to bigger, because I set this again is selected this button, so I should select again the font. It happens this with me. Yeah, where is the auto scale mode? Yeah, it's none. It's set to none. Now, if I set this to font, and even here, now this auto size mode is just grow only. Yeah, if I set grow and shrink, it will work in a double sense. Yeah, so I go here and let's set the font to 9. See, now it shrinked like that, very small, this font. Yeah, because I changed the font. Yeah, now if I change the font from 9 to, for example, 72, this form became very big. Yeah, but because here now I've got Autoscale mode set to font, but if I change this to none, even here where is the font property, I change now this to 9, you see the size of form is not changed, just the font on the button. Yeah, why? Because here I've got this Autoscale mode set to none. If I set back to font, and this one I set to grow only, yeah, and I go here, I set this to 30, no, yeah, let's make it again 12. Okay, as you can see, the form again wasn't changed. It should have begun smaller, yeah, because I set to 12. Let's make it bigger, yeah, like 36, the font. You see, it became bigger. Now again I change the font to 9. It should begin smaller, yeah, and now it's smaller, yeah, yeah, because here the auto scale mode is set to font, so that's why now we can change the size according with the font set here in the properties window. Okay, so let's go forward. Okay, another property is this form border style. Yeah, now because it's set to sizable, that means this form can be the size of this form can be modified. If I launch this form, yeah, as you can see, I can resize this form. Yeah, if I go back here and I select this fixed single, the form can't be changed anymore. Yeah, the size can't be changed. As you can see, I go here and I can't change it, the size of the form. Yeah, all right. The same is happening if you select fixed 3D, fixed dialog. fixed to window, yeah, and these two are sizable. If you select sizable or sizable to window, so these two will give you the possibility to change the size of the form when your form is launched, yeah. Okay, another property is the icon property. So you can change this icon if you want. So a very good site where you find a lot of free icons is this icon finder, yeah, and set on free here to be able to see just the free icons, yeah. So you go here and set the pixels on 32, yeah, and select an icon like this one, yeah, and go on this arrow and select again icon, Windows icon, yeah, and click on it. And the icon is you can download the icon in your computer. I have already this icon, so I'm not going to save it on my computer again. Just I wanted to show you how to do it. Alright, let's put this on taskbar. And now, if you want to change your icon, you just click on this button. Here you go. And you go to your project. Yeah, this is my project, yeah. But that icon, I think, is in another project. If I remember well, it is in this project here. Okay. And I'm going to bring the icon. And now you can see the icon was changed. Yeah, let's release this form. And here you go, here is the icon, yeah, it was changed, as you can see, yeah. Another property is this one, maximize box, which is set now to true. It is about this box. If you don't want this box to be enabled on your form, you just change the true to false. And now if you launch the form, you will see this maximize box is not able anymore. As you can see, it's not able, you can't use it. The same thing you can do with this. I'm going to change this back to true with the minimize box, yeah. Change the true to false, launch the form, and here you go, yeah. Now you can't use the minimize box to minimize or to put this form on the taskbar, yeah. Okay, let's change back this to true. Also, if your writing is from right to left, you can enable it from here, and you change now with yes. And now, as you can see, this form 1 is moved to the right, yeah. And if I bring on my form a text box, and I'm gonna to make it bigger, yeah. Here you go. Okay, let's launch this. I'm gonna to write. As you can see, the writing is from right to left, yeah. Alright. Okay, this is great. Now let's change this to now, yeah. Let's select again the form. Yeah, it was selected, this text box, and now we forget again that the text box or another control is selected on my form instead of this form. So let's select the form now, yeah. So let's look for another property. The last what I showed you was this right to left, yeah. If you don't want to show the icon on your form, yeah, So let's select again the form, and let's change this to no, yeah. And now the text form one came back where it was. So if you don't want to show the icon on your form, you just change the true to false, and now as you can see the icon disappeared. Yeah, you don't have any more icon on your form. Let's change this back. Okay. Another property is this shown in taskbar. Yeah. Let me to launch this form. So now you have this minimize control, which allows you to put your form on taskbar, yeah, and it's here on taskbar, yeah, and you can launch it from here, and you can put it back and launch it from taskbar, yeah. Okay, but if you set this property shown taskbar from true to false, you're not able anymore to put your form on taskbar, as you will see. Here you go. So yeah, you see, you can't see anymore your form on taskbar, yeah, as it was before. Yeah, if you set this shown in taskbar to false, yeah. So I suggest you to set this property to true, yeah, to be able to see your form on taskbar, yeah. Okay, another good property is this task position. Now, if I make smaller this form, yeah, like that, and I release again the form, you will see where appear my form. They appear here on the left side on the top, as you can see. But I want it to appear here in the center. How we can do this? So to do so, to make the form to appear in the center of your screen, you have to set this property start position to center screen. You have another values here. Now the default value is this Windows default location. But if you want your form to appear in center of your screen, you just select this value center screen. And now let's launch again this form. Here you go. Now the form, as you can see, appeared in the center of the screen and doesn't appear here where it appeared before. Here on the left, on the top side, it appears now in the center of this screen because I set this property start position to center screen. Very useful and very used property is this text property. Now the value of this property is form1, the same like here, as you can see. It's very easy to change the text for the form. So just go here in this box and change form1 to another name like calculator. Yeah. And now the text here on the top of left side of this form was changed from form1 to calculator. Yeah. Also, very important is this topmost property now is set to false. Yeah. If I launch the form, yeah, and if I give a click on Visual Studio, now this form disappeared. Actually, it is behind of Visual Studio, and you can see it here on the taskbar. If I click on it, it comes in the front again. Yeah, but if I click again Visual Studio, it goes back again, and you can't see anymore the form. You can change this. Yeah, let's go here and set this topmost property from false to true. And now the form, after I will launch it, will appear in the front all the time. will be the first. Yeah, let's launch the form. Here you go. Now click on Visual Studio. You see the form doesn't disappear anymore. It stuck. It's stick here in the front. Yeah, it's stuck here in the front. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, good. As this property topmost was set to true. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. I'm waiting for you to watch my other video tutorials. See you next time. Bye bye.